Welcome back, peoples. Ryan here, and today we're gonna check out Pokemon Generations Episode 3, The Challenger. Um, Not much I can say about this episode. Um, I saw the first two; they were pretty awesome. I enjoyed them. I'm hoping that this one is more related to the original game, basically, because that's all the knowledge I have is the original game. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. So this is Pokemon Episode 3, The Challenger. Let's get into it right now. Oh, we have Lance in the building. Bruno. And I don't know the other two. Sadly, I forgot.
I understand your impatience. It has been quite a while since any trainer has collected 8 gym badges.
Really?
I'm sorry, but you won't be seeing him. I'll freeze him right into place.
Well then, let us prepare. And I especially look forward to seeing how good he really is.
Just you wait, Elite Four. The greatest Pokemon trainer in the world? That is me.
We're in the rival's eyes.
Welcome to the Pokemon League. I'm here to greet you, Challenger. Ready?
I'll smash your ice into a million pieces.
Lapras versus Alakazam.
See that? I happen to be an incredible genius.
Fine then. I will let you go on ahead. You won't be so lucky next time.
I'm Bruno of the Elite Four. The Pokemon you train. Show them to me.
I hope you can offer me more of a challenge.
Pidgeot versus Machamp. Flying beats fighting.
How could I have been defeated?
That's all you've got? The truth is, my Pokemon and I, we haven't even come close to being serious.
Cocky.
Well, it's no surprise
Arbok
you've come this far.
It's just exactly as I planned.
Really?
Forgot his name.
Since you're the grandson of that old coot, I thought you'd be completing the Pokedex.
Don't you compare me with that old man! Gathering data for the Pokedex is just a tool to become stronger.
How interesting. Now then, this is my last Pokemon. Go, Gengar!
Finally, Lance.
So I see that you've made it this far.
I will sit on the throne. You'll lose, and I'll be champion.
Show me what you've got. Let's see how you fare against the leader of the Elite Four and my army of dragons!
He was the hardest out of all of them because he got nothing to nullify his dragon type.
Blastoise, go!
Just had that strong Pokemon.
This one is really strong. Don't get scared.
Attack! That's a very powerful move.
Call it agreed. Now let's settle this.
Do your worst!
I finally did it. I'm the champion of the Pokemon League.
here comes Red.
Hurry up and come. Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!
Oh my god, okay. Ends abruptly, but okay.
I understand.
That was actually pretty awesome. I like that.
Collected.
That is...
Okay, I'll just leave it right there for a second. All in all, this was an awesome little short. Basically, this takes place during the Red game, basically. Fire Red or Red, whichever you prefer. But basically, you're seeing everything through Gary's eyes. He's always going to be Gary to me, basically, because he looks just like the counterpart from the Pokemon cartoon anime. I think his real name's Green, though. It's either green or blue, I forgot. I think it's green. But regardless, he's going to go by Gary right now. So yeah, basically we're just seeing everything through Gary's eyes, because if you played the game, then you know what's going on. You and Gary became Pokemon trainers at the same time, and Gary's always one step ahead of you. You realize that when you're going through your whole adventure and everything, because each freaking gym you go to, when it's the first gym or the last gym, if you look, if you notice that there's those two little statues at the entrance of the gym, go and check it out, and you'll see that it shows you all the trainers that won, and Gary's name is always right there, already engraved in there. So he was always one step ahead of you, and he always battled you in certain points of the game, which is actually pretty cool. So you have to be on top, make sure you're all set, and make sure none of your Pokemon are hurt, because he just shows up randomly somewheres. But regardless, this is basically we never saw it, but this shows what he went through when he went through the Pokemon League, or the Elite Four, basically. He battled the Gym Lead, or the Elite Four, and, obviously he dominated them, and he became the Pokemon Master, basically. But, I was wondering, because out of the Elite Four, all I remember was freaking Bruno and Lance. I couldn't remember the other two, but regardless, I was wondering, wasn't there was Lance the main one? Like, Lance was the Master and Elite Four, or was he just the Elite Four counterpart? Because I always thought that after you beat the Elite Four, then you fight unless that's just made for your character that you're playing, and the person that's always ahead of you is the rival or whatever. But regardless, it was pretty cool. It's neat how Gary, he's freaking cocky in here. But then again, he always been cocky throughout the game too. And it's just weird. I mean, I'm not sure, but it showed the Pokemon use. So we saw Blastoise, Alakazam. I forgot what that freaking is it Rhydon or Rhyhorn? I mean, Kangaskhan? No. I don't know. But I forgot what that other Pokemon he had. But regardless, it's pretty cool seeing everything through his eyes. We saw him using Pidgeot versus Machamp, and everyone knows that flying defeats fighting, so that's crazy right there. It's funny because freaking Machamp's a big freaking Pokemon, and Bruno's basically the same height as him, so I thought that was freaking hilarious. I forgot what this Pokemon, Rhydon? Is it right? I can't remember. Dang, that sucks.
Exactly as I planned.
Really?
And I don't know much about the lore or anything. I wonder if that was any meaning between this character right here, the ghost Pokemon character, or the poison, whoever she was, fighting Gary. I wonder why Gary always doesn't want to be compared to his grandpa. I mean, unless he just wants to just be known for himself instead of being like the Professor Oak's grandson. But there's that. What else do I need? What else is there to talk about?
Let's see how you fare against
I always found
leader.
Lance. His battle was always difficult because he only portrayed in Dragon type Pokemon, and I forgot, like, you have his Dragon Knight, and he has all the strong dragon stuff, but it was hard to compete because there was no weakness towards dragon. You just had to have a really strong Pokemon to take, like, you have to have a strong defense or a strong offense to take out his dragons. But regardless, you get through and you defeat him, and that what Gary did, he beat them. He became the Pokemon master. He became the leader. So, like I'm still wondering though. Like, there was no one after Lance. I mean, he said he was the leader of the Elite Four, so I'm guessing, yeah, I am the last opponent, but also the leader. Basically, that's what I'm guessing. Cause if you think really deeply into this whole story of Gary, Gary always wanted to be the best, basically, throughout the game. He wanted to become the master. He wants to be the strongest in everything. Let me go back to that one scene. He always wanted to be the best,
I finally
and
did it.
he finally did it.
I'm the champion of the Pokemon League. Champion of the Pokemon.
As you can see, he's finally the champion, but it sucks because he fails eventually. He attained his goal, but for what? Just to lose it a couple, like, it looks like that this happened spontaneous, because if you think about it, Gary goes out, he tries his best, he fights through the Pokemon, like, he goes on his adventures, he fights the freaking gym leaders, he goes through all this, he goes through, like, all the stuff that you gone through in the game, like, he was at Sivco when Team Rocket was all over there going crazy, and, it was all these places and stuff. One of his Pokemon possibly died, because you meet him in, was it Lavender Town, in that, grave, the tower, the cemetery tower or whatever. So there's that, but he makes it all the way to an end. He becomes Pokemon Master, but then Red, your character, he freaking follows. He goes through the same deal. He goes through it all. He makes it to the Elite Four, defeats them, and then he has to face you, and he defeats Gary. So in the end, he loses. So I wonder how that makes, like, just looking at it that way, it's crazy that Gary did everything he can to become the master, become the best, and then you get defeated by your so-called, or by his rival, which is you, Red. So that kind of, I don't know. It's funny when you think about it, because, like, say, like, you want to try to outspeed, like, say Gary, he doesn't want to be in Professor Oak's shadow, so he became the freaking master. Forget searching for Pokemon, I'm the master, now I'm Gary. And then, Professor Oak comes out congratulating, good job, but then you have Red, who's doing the same thing, but he's not, like, he wants to become the best, but he also wants to do what Professor Oak asked, get all the Pokemon, for the Pokedex. So he does that, and then he becomes a Pokemon Master, and he defeats Gary, and Professor Oak's just congratulate Red. Congratulations, become a Pokemon Master. He congratulated Gary for just a couple of minutes he was Master, but then in the overall, Red wins and becomes, the best, so it's crazy. It's kind of sad when you look at it in that way. Gary, he's always been a step ahead in the game, but in the overall arc, he falls behind Red. Which kind of sucks, but regardless, this was fun. I enjoyed this. This was one of the, I'm happy they really indulged in the story of the first part, so I knew a lot about it, somewhat about it, so that's cool. But that's Pokemon Generations Episode 3, The Challenger. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me hear your thoughts about the episode. If there's any theories of whatever about Gary or Green or whatever you want to call him. But yeah, that's all I have for right now. Hope y'all enjoy this, and I'll see y'all next time. So take care, peoples.